¿Qué la que hay, mi gente? Rico.toro Rodriguez. Rodriguez is an inside joke with me and special friend. So, we'll jump right in a little bit today. We're going to make this a little fun. This is not to be taken too seriously, or nobody should be uptight or whatever. And many of us have fallen into these different categories or personality types at one time or another, and some of us are a combination of all of them. So, shall we get started? Hope you're well, staying blessed, wherever you are. You're going to want to hit that right now. You're going to want to hit that now. If you hadn't hit that sub, go ahead and hit that sub. Rico.toro, real life experiences, personal observations. So, we got the 7 personality types that are in Sosua or come to Sosua. So, here we go. I'm going to give you the 7, and then I'm going to tell you what each one is. So, follow with me. Follow with me. So, there's Mr. Incident, number 1. Number 2, Mr. I think I'm special, and she is special also. And number 3, Mr. If I ever was a baller. Number 4, Miss I'm looking for love from the expat community. Gotta include the ladies, keep it fair. Mr. Looking for love, want to open a business, never been to Sosua before, but want to find love, want to open a business, and don't know shit about the life here or the culture. Number 6, Mr. Analytical. You're going to like that one. Number 7, Mr. Attention. So, here we go. Mr. Incident. This poor soul, this poor type of guy. Whatever he does, nothing goes smoothly, nothing goes right. When you just turned 21 years old, you especially if you went out with a group of guys, you would always have that one guy that forgot his wallet, forgot his ID, forgot or don't have money. You gotta, between you and some of the other guys, you gotta pay his way in. Or the guy that's banned from certain clubs because of fighting. You know the type. So Mr. Incident, he comes down, he's the type guy that might lose his passport one day. The next day, while he's in the bathroom, with the safe open, some things go missing. He loses his phone, in the street. A chick nuts up and they gotta call the police. The dude's always complaining about bad service or bad treatment, be it from the bars, the restaurants, the hotels, his girls. Something just always goes wrong for this dude. And he blames everyone except himself. Takes no responsibility for his trip or his time or his experiences. But he always has incidents and blames everyone but himself. Okay, so the next one is number 2. Mr. I think I'm special and so is she. So, you got the guy, maybe he's a little younger than, the standard, guy visiting, and thinks that he's cute, thinks that he's fly, maybe he meets one girl and treats him real well, and they never said nothing about money. She act like she didn't want his money, and and then later she comes to him like on some real heavy extortion tip, or hey, that bill is due, you owe something, or you find out that you start hearing her name around town, whether it be from some of your boys or some other guys, or you see her with someone or whatever, and you realize you're not that special, and neither is she. All right, Mr. If I ever was a baller. So you got the guy that comes down, he might have been eating ramen noodles, scrimping in his mother's basement for 6 months, saving up for a trip. He's got his pockets are fat with pesos when he gets here. Please tell me you exchange your money for pesos. And I'm talking pesos. So, he goes out, he's partying, taking a lot of selfies, in the club and stuff. And, just showing everybody all over town, he's Santa Claus. He's balling. He's in his mind, he's trying to fulfill the fantasy if he ever was a rap star or an NBA player, a Hollywood actor, So, he's trying to fulfill all these things of how he would have done it back home if he was rich, And then, also, he takes it to another level where he's disrespectful to like the staff at restaurants, real demanding and kind of arrogant and entitled, about the service, because he doesn't know much. He's just all about himself because thinks that his money trumps all. And he starts finding out he's sadly mistaken. Money is important, but doesn't trump all, always. And, he's that way with the girls, he's like thinking that, I'm giving extra, so I'm getting so much extra and this and that and this and that. And then, he had, some things that he thought he was getting, he's not getting. He's talking to the girls disrespectfully, like, ways that he would never talk to women at home, and, like I say, he's living larger than life. Maybe he's even dumb enough to be making it rain in the club. But that's Mr. I wish I was a baller. None of that's unnecessary. It doesn't take much here. We're all ballers. We're all millionaires, let them tell it. So basically, you don't got to live out your NBA or rap star fantasies. You just gotta, there's a lot to enjoy as it is. You could just, without even like going to those, enjoy it for what it is, not for fulfilling the fantasies if you ever been a star there or whatever. So, moving on to the ladies. Well, one lady scenario. Number 4. Miss, I'm looking for love for an expat. Well, you got the ladies that retired. They're trying to live their best life down here also in paradise. And so they come down. Maybe they've been through a divorce or two, like, many of us men have. And, maybe they like the Mandingo, the Dominican, the young Dominican, the young Haitian or whatever. Maybe they try the sanky-panky lifestyle a little bit. And then they realize there's a cost associated and some support associated with dabbling with those young local men, like there usually is for us with the ladies. And, they're not too keen on that. So they're, begin hanging out in the expat bars a little more. And, they're really hoping, and then, maybe there's some guys visiting on vacation that come down time to time. So they're really poking and prodding those guys, trying to get information, really hoping to find the real deal through an expat or like a long-term tourist, 50-year-old woman, hoping to find a 50-year-old man with a good pension or whatever, or just good income, that speaks the same language as them, reminds them of home a little bit. They can listen to the Isley Brothers or Marvin Gaye or Teddy Pendergrass, and they got some things in common. Looking they could break through all that and find love here. Hope, and then sometimes it does happen. But, the majority of the time, most of us 50-year-old men, we're not looking for love from an expat female around our same age. Let's just be real. It is what it is. La vida es así. So, number five is the guy that's coming down. He's down here like his first or second time. Just in Sosua. His whole assessment of Dominican Republic is based on the small fish bowl in Sosua. And he speaks no Spanish, doesn't know any locals, but he's looking around, and right away he's like, I want to buy land, I want to buy a house, I want to buy a wife, I want to love, I want to be a landowner, I want to do all this stuff within 6 months. He doesn't know anything, doesn't know the laws, doesn't know, like say, the lay of the land, doesn't know the culture, anything. But that dude wants it all, and he's impatient. And I don't know much about business, honestly, but I do know when it comes to business, comes to buying big ticket items, it's important to have a little patience. Do your due diligence. Do your research. Not to get impatient and in a hurry or feel like you're going to miss out. So, you won't really hear much business advice from me. So, number 6, Mr. Analytical. I could say of this list, that's probably the one that is the most likely to be the Uber social reject. This guy's intelligent. He may not drink at all. He he's not going to be real social always with the guys. He's not really, doesn't care necessarily about a whole lot of camaraderie with the fellas, hanging out. Doesn't care about this. This guy you see peeking around a corner. You see him online, looking at Tinder, Facebook a lot, or wherever. You see him, he learns enough Spanish. He knows exactly what things should cost with his time, ladies, experience, etc. He knows the right questions to ask to get that. He's super nerdy in his approach. He uses all the data, all the science, all this behind it. And however, he often gets what he's expecting as far as the elements of the service, but the quality may suffer because he turns people into robots with all that extra qualification, all that extra talking. Maybe ask too many questions in the interview or the preparation or the vetting process. So he might turn girls into machines, and not in a good way. And he's missing out on the personal experience, perhaps. But he, like I say, he never has really any issues or incidents. he's really well at his decision making for his safety and well-being and his money, but his level of experiences may vary. So, last but not least, and you know what, there's probably several other personality types that could go on this list, you know, like the weekend warrior, you know, and you know, Mr. I know it all. I've been to every other mongering country, Thailand, Philippines, etc., Brazil, Tahiti. So I know how to work Sosua. So there's probably some honorable mentions that I left off. But like I say, trying to keep this short and sweet. So Mr. Attention. Mr. Attention. This guy, he'll be walking down the street. When the girls yell out, baby, 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 he'll look, see who it is, and he'll, you know, he's happy to have them come up on him, even if you don't know them, just grabbing them, feeling on them, even if they look like yesterday's lunch or last week's trash by the curb. You know, he just can't deny the opportunity for some exotic attention. And this guy, you know, he may have already gotten a little action earlier that day. He may be too drunk. His health may not be good enough to, so his health may not be good enough to have sex, but this guy cannot pass on the opportunity for more attention in his life, in his day. And so he, you know, and the flip side of this is some guys, you got those guys that can never perform and due to health reasons or whatever, and they'll shack up like sometimes days and weeks with someone just for round the clock attention. And you know, that to me, I pray to never be one of those guys. You know, I gotta have me a steady girlfriend or something that's giving me the attention I need if I'm no longer able to perform, but that's just me. But so the Mr. Attention, he can never pass on attention. So hit that right there. Thank you very much. By the way, still got the black eye. If you need to know why, check out the other video, how I got the black eye.